Hello, hello. Welcome to your reading lesson for today, Wednesday, October 21st. I have my sticky. I remembered to write it down and check it out. That is the day today. Now, I am filming videos the day before, so it's actually Tuesday for me, Tuesday night, which is why I get so confused with the date because it's not quite that day. But anyways, welcome to reading. In front of you, you should have your reading packet, which I gave to you yesterday. It's that big old packet that I stapled together. And today we're really focusing on 2 pages in it. It's going to be the cause and effect page, and the other page is the constructed response course of action. So I'll give you a hint. Let me pull mine out. Actually, mine doesn't look like yours. Let me see if I can find it. Should have looked beforehand. I apologize. Almost there. Let's see, yours looks something like this. Okay, this is the page we're doing first. It has the king on it, and it has some writing on the right side or the left side, and writing for you to put in on the right side. So that's what we're going to focus on first. And then the second one looks like this. Course of action. It's got Despero, or a mouse of some kind, down here, Lester's actions, and then your actions. Okay? So first, let's start with our constructed response with the cause and effect. So remember, cause and effect is a literary element. Cause and effect often happens within a story. Something happens, and then because that happened, something else happens, right? So they've given us, let's see, 5 causes, and we need to come up with the 5 effects that came from those causes, all right? Now I'm going to be switching back and forth between this screen and my Word document. So again, there should be no reason to spell anything wrong. If I go too fast, you're always welcome to pause the video, finish whatever you're working on, and then resume or play it when you're ready, okay? All right, so this page first, that's where we're at. Let's look at it. It says, complete the cause and effect chart to explain the events in chapters 7 through 9. Now, we read 7 through 9, not yesterday, but the day before, right? That in those chapters, it had all about Despero meeting the king and the princess, falling in love with the princess. I know all of you guys were like, "Bleh," but that happened. Furlough finding him and reporting him to the Mouse Council, and the Mouse Council deciding what they're going to do, right? All of those things. So what happened? What's the cause and what's the effect? Let's look at the first one. Despero sits at the foot of the king. What's the effect from this? So the cause, Despero sits at the foot of the king. What's the effect? I want you to think for just a second. What would you say? Some possible options could be he meets Princess P and forms a relationship with her, right? Or a friendship with her. He listens to the music and forgets a lot of the mouse rules. That's another one. The one that they put on here and the one that I'm going to put on my paper is this. And this is kind of the overarching effect. This is how it brings us into the next cause in the story. It says, Furlough sees Despero and runs to tattle. Ooh, I spelled that wrong. Sorry. Furlough. There we go. So that's what I would put on that first one. Now, again, I'm going to move on, but if you're still copying, then pause the video. The next one says, Despero looks into the eyes of Princess P. Can't you just imagine it? He's looking up in awe. Oh, he just adores her, right? What happens? What's the effect from that? Remember, he sees a sparkle, and then it says that he what? And all of you guys were like, bleh. I'm hoping you guys are saying he falls in love. So the effect is he falls in love with the princess. Aw, so cute. Maybe not. Sorry. I'm sure Jimmy and Kira and Olivia are thinking, aw, adorable. All right, coming back to me. Again, pause it if you're not with me. That's okay. Next one says, the Mouse Council meets in a secret hole off King Philip's throne room. What's the effect? What's the effect from that? What's the effect? So think to yourself, what ends up happening in that meeting? So I'm going to come back to my Word document. Things that happened in that meeting, right? They decide that Despero is guilty unless he can say that he can prove that he's innocent. They decide that the what's the word? Consequence of his actions is going to be something severe, and then they decide what that severe consequence is. So I would say, or what's on my book, it says the council. And remember, it's Sill because it's Council. The council sentence Despero to the dungeon where the rats live. And we still don't know much about these rats, right? There's something evil about them, but we don't know exactly what. All right, next one. Despero goes to the library to read the ending of the fairy tale, right? So he finds out that he can read a couple chapters before this. He goes back to the fairy tale that he had started, right? And then what's the effect from this? What ends up happening? Let's see. Someone comes in and catches him reading the book and then tells him something important. So it says Furlough finds Despero and tells him he has been summoned. So let's see. Furlough finds Despero and tells him to go see the Mouse Council. Dun, dun, dun. Right? Now remember, Despero doesn't feel the sense of impending doom that we do, right? We're thinking to ourselves, we know what his consequence is going to be and that it's not a good one. But he's kind of like, oh, this is such a bother. Do I really have to go? And it makes Furlough super frustrated because he's like, dude, these are like the important people. You absolutely have to go and you have to be polite and blah, 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 right? But Despero is just a mouse all his own. He's not like the others. All right, last one on this page. Last one says, Furlough sees Despero not eating the paper, but talking to the paper. So what is the effect from this? And I'll give you a hint. It has to do with how Furlough feels about turning Despero into the Mouse Council. Remember, they're brothers. Remember, they're supposed to be family. Remember, there's supposed to be some kind of a bond, but lately, and really the whole story, we haven't seen much of a family bond where they protect one another, they're loyal to one another. And maybe they're loyal to the others, but just not to Despero, right? So the answer to this one, the effect from this is Furlough feels justified, like he's doing the right thing in turning him in. Whoa, yep. Right? He thinks Despero is sick and needs help, right? So he's justifying in his mind, this is okay. This is how it's supposed to be, even though we all know that he's just betraying his family member just because he's just a little bit more unique, right? All right, again, pause this video if you need those answers. That's fine by me, and resume it when you are ready. Now, if you're playing, that means that you're ready to go. Let's look at this page. It has, let's see, Lester's actions and your actions, okay? So look at the directions with me up top. It says, explain what course of action you would take if you were Lester Tilling's situation when Furlough told him what Despero had done. Why would this be a more effective course than the one that Lester chose? Now, Lester chose pretty much the worst of the worst, right? He turned his son in. He didn't stand up for him. He didn't do anything to help him, right? He just let the Mouse Council do whatever they wanted. Would you do that? If you were Lester Tilling, what would be different about your actions, right? So you're going to do this page on your own, all right? There are no wrong answers to this page. That's the thing. This is your opinion. I can't tell you that your opinion is wrong. As long as it makes sense to what the question is asking, you're going to get it right, all right? Just make sure you give a thoughtful response, not like a one-worded answer. Give a good sentence, all right? Now remember, a sentence is a complete thought, capital letters, punctuation at the end, all right? It's not no, it's not yes, it's not I would too. You know, give me some detail, give me some substance. So the first one says Lester's actions. As soon as Lester heard from Furlough that Despereaux was with the king, he immediately sounded the drum that summoned the Mouse Council. Would you have done that? If not, what would you have done instead? Second one. Lester just nodded his head in agreement when the most very honored head mouse told all of Despereaux's fault. Would you have done that, or would you have done something else? Now, in that one, it's okay if the answer is that's what I would do, because sometimes you need a moment to think, right, and to plan your actions and not spurt out. But if that's not what you would do, tell what you would do. And then third one, when the mice voted to send Despereaux to the rats, Lester just turned his head. He did not vote against this action. Then he wept at the outcome of the vote. What would you have done? Would you have voted for Despereaux? Would you have voted against Despereaux? And how would you have felt at the end? All right. All right, that's it for today. Those 2 pages. So I did this one with you. You should have all the answers for that one. You're going to do this one on your own because it's your opinion. And then when you're done with that, you are good for reading today. Don't forget, you still have your reading log for homework tonight, 20 minutes at least, all right? You do not have your reading log next week on Thursday and Friday. But this week, excuse me, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday should be a full reading log. Don't forget. All right? I'm about to ask for questions, but I know that you can't tell me your questions, so I guess I'll just sign off instead. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.